Hi everyone, welcome to the very first episode of A Fairytale Tango. This is an initiative under Silhouetted Women. Silhouetted Women is a virtual community that was started in 2021 to encourage women from different communities to share their story and their inspiring journey with others. A Fairy Tale Tango is an initiative, similar initiative where women can come forward to share their stories of how they overcame certain obstacles in life, no matter how small or big it was, and how those obstacles shaped them and transformed them into the person they are today. You can contact us if you want to share your story. The details are mentioned below, and we would love to share your story on our platform. So, today we will be talking about a very important topic, something that a lot of people face in their life, which is social anxiety. This is quite a common problem, and it can, in simple words, be described as the fear of social situations, or it can be called a social phobia. It is a feeling of intense anxiety or the fear of being judged or negatively evaluated or even rejected in a social situation. I think that people often mistake social anxiety for being shy or shyness because it's more than just being shy. Social anxiety, it's a fear that does not go away that easily, and I guess it tends to affect our day-to-day activities, our self-confidence, our relationships, our work life, our school life, and so on. For some people, it might get better when they get older, but there are also some people who might face this even in their adulthood. So today we have with us Ananya Roy, a very passionate dancer who will be talking to us about a very similar journey, and she'll be sharing with us her experiences on the same. So stay tuned.
Thank you for joining us today. And I'll just give a small introduction about you. Um, Ananya, she's a very passionate dancer, and I've seen a lot of videos of her on Instagram. And I mean, so far, whatever I've seen, you're just amazing. You're doing an amazing job. And she tells us that she was never into dance earlier, right? And because she spent a lot of time in karate and studies, and she decided to explore this field over a period of time. And little did you know that fall in love with dance while you were exploring dance. And after this, you tell us that dance actually became a major part of your life, right? And you decided to turn this into your passion. And you also love contemporary dance form as well as hip hop. And you told us that you want to keep learning and keep mastering this art. Uh,
Yes, exactly.
so today we have Ananya with us, and she will be sharing her story of how she dealt with social anxiety and how it affected her and how over a period of time she overcame it. So welcome, and
Thank you
very glad to have you here.
so much for having me.
Great. So let's start by asking you as to how was it for you as a kid to deal with social anxiety in an everyday life, including your school life, and how were you in social settings? Like, how was the experience for you as a kid?
Yeah, so it was really difficult because back then I didn't even know I had social anxiety, and I
Hmm.
had to do all the things that are compulsory according to the society's norms, like going to school, tuition, and later on college. So I did all this, but the rest of the things I always tried avoiding, which I could avoid, like karate, any kind of extracurricular activities which I could avoid. I tried avoiding, even though I really loved it. Even
Hmm.
though I was really passionate about karate, but I still remember that I used to take my mom with me to the karate classes just so that I don't have to interact with people. just before the
Right.
class starts. I don't have to interact with anybody, and I'd be joining just when the class starts, and then again I would come back to my mom. This was really like affecting me to another level, which I couldn't even really find out that it was all happening because of social anxiety. So I was always, even after this, I always tried to escape the classes, even though I was really passionate about it, and I was not afraid of fighting with others. I was afraid of fighting with myself, with my own mind, which was holding me back, so yeah, that was the scenario growing up. Like back then, I didn't even know social anxiety. So until and unless we know the problem, we cannot even find a solution. So yeah, that was the scenario.
Right. So, did it affect your school life in any way, or did you feel withdrawn in any way in your school or in a social setting as a kid?
Yes, obviously, like the places where I had to go, I felt so awkward, like socially awkward. I used to go and just study like a nerd kid and come back. It was like that. I considered myself being an introvert or maybe shy, but yeah, later on I realized that I had social anxiety.
Right, right. So, I mean, that's what the case with most of the people who think that they are an introvert, but it's actually much more than that. We are not able to realize that as a kid, or even during our adulthood, early adulthood, where we still go through such process, and we are not able to think about whether it's actually shyness or it's something more than that. We often mistake it for just being an introvert.
Yes, introvert, exactly, yeah. That was the case for me also.
Yeah. So, the experience often is different for each individual when it comes to social anxiety. And if you had social anxiety and you're in a stressful situation, did you experience any particular physical or mental symptoms? Did you have anything in particular that you would experience when you were in a social situation like that?
Yes, definitely. At times, I used to feel so suffocated. I used to feel so heavy inside, like I just wanted to run away from people and hide somewhere and cry alone. It was like that.
Hmm. Right. I guess that can be very tough sometimes.
Yeah. At times, even I remember at like workplaces, I
Hmm.
actually went to the washroom all alone just so that I can avoid people for some time. I
Hmm.
can be
Hmm.
alone. It was like that.
Right. Right. So, have you met anyone else who has been in a similar situation, or do you think you were the only one at that point of time who were going through social anxiety?
No, actually, I have many friends who are facing the same issue. It's just that, just like I never realized it is social anxiety, they never realized it either. So they were like, okay, maybe we're shy or something. But when I shared my problem with them, then they got to know, okay, they are facing the same issue. So yeah, there
Hmm.
are many.
Right. So when you were going through this, did you have any support, and did you feel supported by other people around you, be it in your work environment or your personal, in your personal life? Did you have any sort of support from other people, or did they
Actually,
understand what this social anxiety was about?
yeah, to be very honest, I was never vocal about it before. Like, I never shared with much people except my very close friends or family, and I always got support from my mom, dad, and my sister Ria. Whenever I used to sometimes I used to get panicked due to social anxiety, and whenever I shared the problem with them, they understood it, and they always supported me and helped me get through it. So
Right.
they are the reason, one of the main reasons why I'm able to overcome it to a certain extent.
Right. But I've often noticed that because For me also personally, I have gone through a phase where I used to be this very shy kid. So, when you are a shy kid or you are an introvert, often people just let it be, like they just think that, being an introvert or being shy, the kid might not be comfortable interacting, so they just leave it as it is. So, did you find that people were actually helping you come out of it, or do you think that people were just treating it as something that you have, it's a kind of thing that you have and it's going to be there in you forever? Like, what kind of reactions you got from people?
Yeah, true. I really believe that there is lack of mental health awareness in India, which is why
Mm-hmm.
these things like social anxiety and any kind of mental health issues, be it depression or panic attacks or whatever it is, they are not taken seriously. These
Right.
things should be addressed, should be taken seriously. But yeah, there are a lot of lack of awareness in India. So yeah, because of that, most of the people think, oh, it is normal. You are just that way. That is your personality. Like you are introvert. There is nothing wrong with
Mm-hmm.
that. Yeah, many people thought so, and many people understood when I explained them that this is a problem. I do not want to be in this way, but this is a problem that I'm facing. Many understood,
Right.
many didn't. So that is the thing.
Right. I guess that's completely true that even though we have an increasing trend of mental health awareness in India right now, but to a certain extent, there are some mental health issues that we deal with on an everyday basis which are often ignored. And I think it's slowly coming to the light. And it's a good thing that it is. Yeah. So, you mentioned that you decided to explore. Now, this is what I really wanted to know. That you did mention that you tried to explore dancing, and after a period of doing karate and like being into your studies, this seems like a completely opposite direction. So, because dance is all about expressions, it's about facing an audience, so how did you, when did you feel that you were ready for this challenge, and what went through your mind? Like, how did you decide this?
Well, I never thought I was ready for it. To be very honest, when I 2 years back, when I thought of starting off with dance for the first time, because I was a complete non-dancer before that. So when I
Hmm.
thought, okay, I should give it a try, then I was a bit too hesitant about it because obviously I was a complete non-dancer and I felt it's too late for me to start learning dance.
Yeah.
And then obviously social anxiety, because dance requires, just like you have mentioned, dance requires people to uh, like face like interact with others and all this stuff. So I was really afraid of this, but I really wanted to learn it. So whenever that is why I never got the confidence. There
Hmm.
is a person, whenever dance come into the picture, there is a person called Chinmay sir who is an amazing dancer and actor as well, and he's also an engineer. So he's a wonderful human being. I spoke with him back then, and he encouraged me so much that okay Baba, you can start off with dancing. There is no it's not too late. So he encouraged me so much that I finally got the courage to start learning dance, and then I joined Terence Lewis Professional Training Institute. And if it was not because of him, then I probably wouldn't have got the confidence, to start learning dance.
Hmm.
So yeah, he really encouraged me, and I started after just once I joined a Terence Lewis company. It was online, completely online training, but still they made me feel so comfortable that I started interacting with them, and I started to get rid of the social anxiety somehow, because they made us so comfortable. So
Hmm.
yeah, after after a certain point of time, I realized that dance is something that would really help me grow as a person, and that would help me overcome all these fears as well. So then I took it very seriously.
Hmm. That's great. So, of course, like when you were learning dance, there might have been one moment, right, where you had to like perform your first dance or, like your first initiation thing happening. So, uh, how did you feel? Like, what kind of feeling went through you? And, like, how did you prepare yourself to face that?
Oh my God, that was really scary when the first time we had to perform in front of our mentors and all the other batchmates would see. And also we had like with Terence sir, one day we had to like perform in front of Terence sir, and that was really scary for me. Like being a non-dancer, having social anxiety, it was scaring me off to think that I would be performing in front of Terence and all these things. But I still, as I said, I was pushing myself like to get out of my comfort zone. So yeah, I tried to analyze the situation that even if things go wrong, then what would happen? They won't do anything, right? If I forget or if I mess it up, then nothing would happen. So let me face it. So I really pushed myself to get out of the comfort zone, to face my fears, and then after a certain time, I tried I became habituated with that. So it was not that scary after a certain time.
Right,
At
right.
first, it was really scary. I used to be so nervous, and I used to think, should I escape it? Like it was like that. But yeah, later on, I became habituated with that.
Right, right. That's great. Yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of getting used to it, I guess. Taking those initial baby steps, it's very difficult. Yeah,
Pushing ourselves is difficult at
yeah,
first. Like
definitely.
get
Yeah,
out of that comfort zone is difficult.
yeah, great. So, when you look back, how do you feel as to how when you look back at your life, like how you have grown from all this, how you have faced social anxiety, um, to how you're able to face social situations now. So, how do you feel about all of this right now?
Yeah, so when I look back, then I just wish that I knew the problem back then. Then I could start working on it like from that time when I was a kid, right? So yeah, but it's okay, better late than never. So once I started working on it, and once I started pushing myself, then I got the confidence. And yeah, I really thank myself, my family, who have supported me through this. Who helped me overcome this fear, and yeah, it really helped because just like you said, for dance and all the things that I'm really interested in, I'm passionate about, these requires a lot of interaction with others. So yeah, I had no choice but to push myself, face my fears. So yeah, I really
Great.
appreciate myself for that, and I really am thankful to my family and friends who have supported me through this.
Definitely, I think you should feel proud of yourself that you've come from a place where you were into studies and you've been an introvert to completely taking up a profession which needs you to be an extrovert.
Exactly.
So yeah,
Exactly.
that's great.
Sometimes I feel
So
like we appreciate ourselves. That's not correct. Like we should be appreciating ourselves more often for whatever we have done for
yeah,
others' sake.
definitely. So how do you feel about yourself now? You said that you feel proud about what you have achieved so far and how far you have come. But do you still feel there is a part of you which still faces social anxiety, or you might get social anxiety in certain situations, or do you feel like you have completely crossed that stage where you used to, feel that anxiety where you when you were in a social situation? Like, where do you place yourself right now?
No, actually, I still have few days when I feel low, when I feel like, okay, I will not show up to the dance studio, dance classes, I will not interact with people. There are few days, obviously, but yeah, I still try to push myself, and obviously my mom, dad, and my sister, yeah, they always help me and push me. Also, if I am really feeling unmotivated to go out and show up to the dance classes and all, then I look up to the people who are really have been an inspiration for me. Like I have said, my all my mentors from Terence Lewis Institute, and all like Chinmay sir, whom I have talked about, and there is someone, Mom and Saqib, who has always been a huge inspiration for me. So yeah, I look up to these people, and I try to push myself, and try to, at days I feel like, okay, let it be, like I allow myself to feel the way that I'm feeling, and at days I push myself and I show up even if I don't want to. So yeah, it's a work in progress, I guess. Like we cannot jump from being 0 to 100, right? So it's always a work in progress.
Definitely. That's true. I mean, it does take a certain amount of time to recover from something that you've been facing for a certain amount of time or certain period of time. So yeah, it's a work in progress, but I guess since you have challenged yourself to be in a situation where you want to come out of the box and you want to, come out of the comfort zone, I think you're definitely pushing yourself towards the direction of, uh,
Exactly.
coming out of social anxiety. So yeah, that itself is then a huge deal.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, is there any message that you want to give to people who are watching the video or who will be watching the video about social anxiety and about your experience?
Yeah, so if anybody is going through the same phase, then I would just like to tell that believe in yourself, push yourself harder, and yeah, face your fears. Do not be afraid. Like there are days when you will feel low, but still try to push yourself. And we all have a spark within us. It's just it takes our own push, or maybe sometimes external push, which can be done by family, friends, or anyone whom we look up to. That some a little external push can just allow us to move forward. So yeah, just keep trying.
Yeah, that's a really beautiful message. I mean, all of us we go through some or the other mental issues or anything, any sort of mental issue. It can be big, it can be small, and it's up to us as to how we challenge ourselves and try to come out of it over a period of time. So yeah,
Exactly. We need
um,
to reach out to people. We need to first find out what exactly
right,
the problem is. Then we can find out the solution and reach out to our friends, family, or anyone whom we look up to. Uh, we
right.
all have a spark within us. We just need a little push to unleash that
Yeah,
spark.
definitely, definitely. Yeah. Thank you so much for that message and for sharing that lovely journey. I mean, personally, I feel like, how you have mentioned your story about becoming from a non-dancer to a complete passionate dancer. That itself was a huge achievement for you. So I guess you'll continue to grow from here and you'll definitely I won't be surprised if in few years you're a complete extrovert and you because when I talk to you right now I feel like you can't be a person who's an introvert or who used to be an introvert. So
Yes,
definitely I guess
had,
yeah, so I guess from this interaction, I feel like there's a lot of growing that has happened on your part from, how you used to be to how you are now. So, congrats on that, and thank you for sharing your story,
thank you
and
so
thank you
much
for
for having me.
joining.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so much. So, we'll be back with the next episode very soon. And keep watching this series. Thank you so much, everyone.